Welcome back to Facebook Live. We're glad you're out there. We're still here, and a lot of people are parading through here at the 2016 Chicago Food Tank Summit in Chicago in the Gleacher Center. We are streaming all kinds of interviews today in the morning and then again in the afternoon. You can also go to foodtank.com to see live streaming of the various panels. And in a little more long form. So you have your opportunity. If you want to duck in and out, stick around on Facebook. We've got more interviews coming up. We want to thank Organic Valley for sponsoring the streaming live on Facebook. And we want to remind you that if you have a question or a comment, it's #FoodTank. I also want to remind you that we're on various places, various Facebook pages, starting with the Food Tank Facebook page and Danny Nierenberg Facebook page, the Mike Novak Show. That's my show in Chicago. You can go to MikeNovak.net, MikeNowak.net, or you can go to the Mike Novak Show on Facebook. You can tweet me at Mike Now. You can also tweet Food Tank at @food_tank. We got a lot of stuff to get out here. So let us get to our guest, Patrick O'Neill of Amp Your Good. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Well, great to be here, Mike. Thank you.
And I guess there's going to be a lot of people watching right now who are going to ask, first of all, what the heck is Amp Your Good? What's that all about?
Well, it's a great question. And so we're a company that was formed around an idea of solving a set of problems that are connected to food drives. I imagine that most of the people in the audience are familiar with food drives because in the United States, the most common form of charity is donating food to food drives. Which is great. You know, there's quite a few people dealing with food insecurity in our country, and it's great that a lot of people like to help out. The problem is that a lot of the food that people donate to traditional food drives are non-perishable foods that tend to be highly processed foods, and they're going to feed a population of people who suffer from really high rates of diet-related health issues, things like diabetes and obesity and whatnot. So at Amp Your Good, what we've done is we've developed a different kind of food drive model that enables people to donate fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and other really super healthy food, which is really the kind of food that people who are dealing with food insecurity actually need.
I want to ask you a real quick question of our director, Chris. Are you doing okay with the audio here? He's okay. I noticed the mic was down a little bit. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. You bring up a lot of questions when you, first of all, and thoughts about it. It seems that people what they donate to food drives are the stuff they don't want to eat themselves. And I bet you find a lot of that. And as you said, it's highly processed stuff, and it's been sitting in the pantry for a couple of years maybe. Do you have to be really careful about the kinds of stuff that shows up there? Do you look at dates and that sort of thing on containers?
Well, the model that we've developed actually completely goes around those kinds of issues because our model is similar to crowdfunding, where groups use our online platform to run online food drives. And the donation process is instead of bringing cans to a collection box someplace, people go to a web page that a group is sponsoring. Now, it could be a school food drive, or a company might be doing a food drive, a faith-based organization. And when people get to that web page, in order to donate, they actually pick out and purchase the food items that they want to donate to the food drive right at our site. And then when the drive is over, we deliver all those food items directly to that food pantry or soup kitchen that the drive is supporting. The food items that are available for people to purchase are based on data that we get from those hunger organizations in terms of what they're really looking for people to donate. So we deliver essentially store-bought fresh food right to them. It's what the hunger organizations are looking for. And so from a donor standpoint, we make it super easy to donate because it's all online. You know that you're actually donating the kind of food that's going to have the most impact, and you're really supporting that local hunger organization that you want to help out.
So you're not actually walking it in yourself, so this is a different model altogether. Which takes us to the panel you're on, which is Unlikely Alliances.
Yes.
Why are you in that room?
Well, I think it starts off with the idea that we're organized as a for-profit company. And we organized that way because we wanted to have a model that was sustainable and able to scale. because we think a lot about what we characterize as the food drive system or the food drive market. And here in the U.S., that's more than 75 million people making donations to food drives every year. Probably $3, $4, even $5 billion worth of food. And our hope is to get people to donate the right kind of food. And in order to do that, we felt we needed to organize as a for-profit company. But we're working in what is traditionally a nonprofit environment.
Does that create hurdles that you have to overcome?
Well, I think it creates some hurdles in that there is this idea that people think of, and hunger organizations have traditionally thought about the food drive as we know it as something that doesn't cost anything. When you pull something out of your pantry, you're not buying it on that day. Mm-hmm. The hunger organizations aren't paying anything for that food. And so the notion that the food drive would be centered around people buying food is something that we really wind up having to explain the value that we're delivering. And once we start really just explaining the different problems that we're tackling and how we're making it essentially sort of easier and better, that helps us get through those hurdles.
It sounds to me, though, that by having people have to spend a little bit of money, that what they're paying for is doing it right. And in the old model, it was catch as catch can, and you're trying to change that and make it more sophisticated.
I think so, and I think we're also a reflection of what's happening with consumers in general. I mean, I think that it's pretty well established that over the past several years, consumers have been shifting their food buying habits to healthier food. There's a growing recognition of how important that is. And so the idea of presenting people with the opportunity to donate healthy food, they understand that is going to have a better impact. So, from a donor's perspective, making it really easy, giving them the opportunity to help in a more impactful way really resonates with them. And with the hunger organizations, they stop getting the food that they're not really looking for, and they start getting the stuff that they know they really want to work with. Quick
question, because we got to wrap this up, but what are you seeing overall? Are more people in need of those kinds of donations? What's the trend?
Well, it was recently reported that the number of people who are on the SNAP program has dropped from 49 million to 42 million. But a lot of that change is due to people that are no longer eligible for SNAP, so they're still dealing with food insecurity. And from the Food Support Network, the Hunger Assistance Network, that actually puts more demand on them for healthy food, really for all food. Mm-hmm. So all of the organizations that we work with, the food pantries, the soup kitchens and whatnot, they see continued demand for the help that they can provide.
Well, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, people can go to ampyourgood.com. That's AMPGOOD.
Which is a great name. I love it. ampyourgood.com.
Or at ampyourgood on Twitter to connect with us that way. And
Facebook as well?
Facebook as well, Amp Your Good. And, we're actually in the middle of food drive season. November is when there's more food donations than any other time of the year.
And that's odd, too. We can't even get into that. We don't have time. But, people need to realize March is a good time to donate, too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Thank you so much, Patrick O'Neill of Amp Your Good. Thank you for watching on Facebook. There's various platforms that you can do that. We're streaming live. We're streaming live all day long. Do me a favor. Go to the Mike Novak Show. Even if you're watching on a different Facebook page, go to the Mike Novak Show and give me a like. That would be really nice. We'll see you in a few minutes.